What do you think?
I think there's no way we're wearing that, Johnny.
What do you have against capitalism?
Hello, and welcome to Waste of Space, where we analyze aspect ratio usage in cinema one movie at a time. This is part 2 of a special 2-part series where we look at the two Fantastic Four films directed by Tim Story. We're finishing things off with the 2007 sequel, Rise of the Silver Surfer, which is presented in the aspect ratio of 2:39:1. The thing I noticed most in this movie is the use of space, so basically the wide frame capturing a lot. Sure, there's close-ups that just focus on a character's face, and that can't be helped sometimes. But at least half the time, if not more than half the time, the aspect ratio is used to show off the characters and their environment all at the same time. Take this scene. Susan is watching television and the wide frame captures her and the room she's in. Reed then enters and turns the TV off before comforting her. While the rest of this scene mostly plays out in close-up, we've already established the setting and can just focus on the dialogue. Then there's the scene with Ben, Alicia, and Johnny in the rec room, which features a Hydro Thunder arcade cabinet in, like half the shots? But the same rule applies here. The wide frame shows us the environment and lets the characters interact in it. One of my favorite examples of this is when Reed admits to Johnny that he's been tracking the worldwide anomalies from the beginning of the film. It starts with a look at Reed's lab setup before going into close-ups of both Reed and Johnny. This is fun because they're on rolling chairs, which means they keep moving around in the frame. The best part is when the camera sits on Johnny explaining that Reed should totally go to his own bachelor party or else Johnny will tell Sue he hasn't been focused on their wedding. Without cutting, Reed rolls back into frame, which tells us everything we need to know.
A bachelor party could be fun. Yes. But no exotic dancers.
I like this scene of Susan talking with Alicia on her wedding day. I'm not here to say it's amazing, but it uses all that space in a way that makes sense. Like, all this space is filled in one way or another. Even the first shot of Susan looking out the window serves a purpose, as it initially shows her alone, looking out with a helicopter in the distance. Even this close-up of her hiding a zit makes good use of the wide frame. And then at the wedding, there's this shot of the priest in the middle with Susan and Reed on the sides. While the priest starts things off, we can focus just on him. When the surfer crashes the wedding, our focus shifts to notice Susan and Reed notice the disturbance. And then there's Susan sitting alone at yet another failed wedding attempt with only debris and disappointment to surround her. The Black Forest sequence has the frame capturing a whole lot too. You of course get group shots of the team and others, but we also see a lot of the environment, including a grizzly bear. And since this scene is about capturing the Silver Surfer, we get good shots of that attempt. A few shots inside the Siberian army base are really good too. I like this pan that shows the security cam footage of Johnny just before he talks to a guard. This scene also has some serious close-ups of the surfer, which lets me talk about how this film really cares about showing him off. No one gets more prominent close-ups than this guy, and you can see that in many of his scenes. I think this visually lets the audience know he's a big deal, which makes sense because he's in the title of the movie. Also, he ends up saving the world. Well, I won't lie to you, I don't have much more to say about this movie. Though I do want to shout out this shot from the London sequence, where the London Eye is about to fall, but then a force field saves it, and we pan from that to Susan doing her best to keep it up. Honestly, this movie is full of cool shots that don't last too long, but what am I gonna do, make a supercut of all the cool shots in this movie? What I can say is that the film makes good use of the 2:39 aspect ratio. So that's all from me regarding Rise of the Silver Surfer. I hope you enjoyed it and learned a thing or two or three or four. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.